There's not even direct access to the jewelry store, so the two suspects had to walk inside and then walk through the flower shop at the front of the store and come around this corner before they could even step inside the jewelry store. You can see smoke in the air. It's billowing. You can see it for about a mile if you drive down Congress. As far as opening up residents' mailboxes and placing his flyer inside, grab your family and come on down. And there's also a hot cocoa cafe behind me to warm you up in case you get cold. Lawnmower blades just like this one. About 600 children actually lose limbs. Drivers say the construction is costing them time, but business owners around here say it's costing them money. What is concerning residents is what's happening right here. In some areas, there's water seeping through. Ladarian was the oldest of 3 children. He had just turned 6 in January. Only 6 of them did not have to be euthanized. Floats started lining up just a few hours ago, and the drivers told me they are ready to get this party started. On Thursday, SWAT teams were swarming this home trying to convince Larry Thomas to surrender his wife, Joyce, but unfortunately, she was already dead.
I don't know what happened. We tried to tell him where she at. He said she was laying down. That's all. That's why he keep telling us.
He just robbed her. They stole it all. He got children. He took their heart away. That's them children, mama. That's my sister. That's my heart.
Joyce's brother says his younger sister was no stranger to abuse.
It started years ago. The abuse, the fighting. The little kids were small. Now they're grown.
Family members say the two were separated and Joyce had been staying here at her brother's house for the past few weeks. Larry had heard she was with another man and showed up here angry.
And she was so happy the past couple of weeks. I never seen her like that. And so long, 10 years.
Thomas's brother Alan says he didn't think his brother had a history of abuse or the ability to kill.
I don't think he was gonna do it. I don't know. I guess he was just too much angry at him.
Both say all they can do now is lean on family to help get through this tough time.
Everybody got to be strong.
My heart is grieving. I'm full.
In Mamou, Melissa Hawks for KATC TV3. The water is not unfamiliar territory for Josiah Hoffman. 2 weeks ago, he took off from Galveston, Texas in his new sailboat, Long Last, to head to Mississippi.
Waited like about 4 days for a good window to sail.
On day 2 of his trip, Hoffman ran into a storm brewing in the Gulf.
And then just everything went bad. I mean, that storm came up on me so fast, I hardly had time to do anything.
Long Last made it through the first storm, but Hoffman wasn't in the clear.
The second storm hit, and it hit so hard. I mean, I saw it coming, and I had everything trimmed right as best I could, but still, the seas were so rough.
The first storm took out 3 of these sails and he lost all communication. The second storm took away his rudder, but luckily Hoffman had damage control materials on board, so he was able to make this temporary rudder. After 9 days of battling freezing temperatures without much food or water, the Iberia Parish Search and Rescue Team found him.
Man, I'm telling you, to me, when they arrived, they looked like angels. I mean, to know that they were going to tow me back, that was a real relief, because I was thinking, how in the world am I going to get to Mississippi from here?
Hoffman says the past few weeks have been quite the adventure, and he feels lucky he made it out alive. Reporting in Iberia Parish, Melissa Hawks for KATC TV3. This body of water is typically dry and flourishing with crops.
Last Wednesday, the water started coming in here.
It's been in George LaCour's family for 5 generations. The only other time waters covered the land was in 1973.
I don't think anybody ever realized it would ever happen, because during the 40s, 50s, 60s, and until 73, nothing like this had ever happened.
He says it took years for some farmers to recover when the Morganza was opened for the first time in 1973. The gates being open for a second time makes him wonder about the future of farming in the spillway.
What's going to be left to pick up when it's over with? How much damage and destruction is going to be done to our farms?
It's hard to believe that just a few weeks ago, all of this was dry land. It was covered in sugarcane, rice, and soybeans. Now about 2,000 acres of LaCour's land is underwater. LaCour leases 3,000 acres of land outside of the spillway. He says harvesting that farmland is the only thing that'll help him survive this season.
This was going to be a year in Louisiana agriculture to really do well. The prices are good, and Everybody was excited.
He says this disaster doesn't discourage him. After the water dries up, he'll be back out farming this land again. In Morganza, Melissa Hawks for KATC TV3.